cemetery with Dalia.
Hi. We're literally doing this Halloween thing.
It's like,
ooh, I look like a vampire with those colors.
Oh, they're looking at us. Oh shit.
We're the only people of color here. What the fuck is going on?
So Samuel was a sheriff. In 1856, the sheriff at that time, his name was John Taylor, and he was the outgoing. Samuel was incoming, and he didn't have very long it was such a bad problem that they hired these people called the regulators, and they were just regular old citizens, and they would get together and call the police. On trial in February, he was found guilty and he was sentenced to hang. Alfred Fisherman was the first public hanging that we had in Winnebago County. He was taken to Samuel had some property out by where St. Patrick's Church is on School Street here, and he offered the land, and he was very concerned that Alfred would not make his hanging, and he asked the sheriff's department to please escort the carriage. They refused because one of their own had been killed, so he asked the fire department, and they escorted them to the land. And Alfred was taken there. His family was attending,
fun. You literally have him go. He's tall as shit.
Native American influence. There were over 500 Indian burial mounds in Winnebago County along the river, and most of them are gone now. There are still some there, but that helps. But I think anytime that something happens dramatically, whether it's good or bad, weddings, christenings, murders, it leaves like an imprint on the property or on the land or the house. But people, places, and things can be haunted, from my experience. And so just be careful. If you're out visiting a haunted place like Tinker or something, you don't know what you're going to bring home. This one kind of startled me at first when I found this young man. I had been talking about a woman who was haunted
Zip it up. I really was doing the accident. You gotta stop. You can't unzip it. I'm stuck in a jacket. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. I was just trying to. I can't take it off. Get off. Ooh. is the workout. No, seriously.
There was so many trees, and you could see the city down below. So he was an early doctor, and Americans in the area, and one of them that passed away was Chief Big Thunder. And I've been told it's because his voice was booming, not why you would think that he would be called Big Thunder. I have an ex-husband that could have had that name too. But Josiah, when that Big Thunder passed away, he knew that there would be enemies coming. And he asked them to bury him sitting up. And this would have been about the place where Belvedere's City Hall is now. Right across from the Funderburg mansion. We were just talking about that on the way up here. And he asked to be buried sitting up. They put his robe around him, and then they had filled his lap with tobacco, and he was left there. And it happened to be on the middle of this stagecoach trail. It went right by there. And people would get out and walk around to stretch their legs, and they would go up to this stockaded wall and peek over and see Chief Big Thunder sitting there. And because humans can be stupid, they would take souvenirs. We buy postcards now, but back then they would grab bones. And eventually Josiah was making his way through, and he was a doctor, and he thought it would be cool to have the skull of Chief Big Thunder. But there is a curse on anybody who takes, because he was there to protect his people, there was a curse attached. And so all of the people that ended up taking the bones away had bad things happen to them. And Josiah is one of them. He was handling a patient here in town, and he was walking home with a midwife that had helped him deliver a baby, and he stumbled into a newly dug well. And by the time they got him out, he had passed away. And people were quick to say that it was Big Thunder getting his revenge on him for taking his skull. He would have returned the skull, but according to legend, it was in the Rush Medical Center in Chicago during the big fire, and so they couldn't return Big Thunder's skull. They did, however, really, the stagecoach people really liked that whole tourist thing, and they started to replace the human bones with animal bones, just so people would have something to take away on their travels.
It is really outside. Look at the camera.
Yeah, the camera?
There's some scratches and everything. Cute.
Fight for our country against, people in Europe, and some of them were his own family. Alexander was fighting in France, and there was a machine gun nest at the top of this hill, and he was trying to make the way up with his other fellow soldiers up this hill to get that machine gun squadron taken out. And they were in like a bunker, and they were like sitting ducks, and a lot of men fell on the way up, and he actually made it to the top and threw a grenade in, and he saved so many men because of his sacrifice. But he was mortally wounded at the top, and he died there in the hill. It took him a long time to get his body sent back here, and I tell soldiers stories so we remember them. And I think that after I do my research that I know the story, but the first time I told Alexander's story, Sarah made a connection with Alexander. He was a very young man. He was only 22 when he passed. And she said his family never got what he left them. And I said, I don't know. He got a medal for his sacrifice, and it was given to his wife. And she said, that's not it. And she said, he can't rest because his family didn't get what was coming to them. And I went back to the newspapers, and I searched, and I searched. And after this story, about a year after, one of our senators was visiting Russia, and they happened to be in the area that his hometown was from. And Alexander's mother went to the senator who had an interpreter, and she had a letter. And she never knew until that moment that her son had been killed. It was a letter from the government telling her that, but it was in English, and she couldn't read it. And so when she read it, they were able to interpret that for him. And he had quite a big life insurance policy, and he wanted it to go to his mother. The wife got the house and stuff, so he wanted it because he had siblings that were there, and Russia was hit hard, and they were starving. And so this senator said, I'm going to get that money, I'm going to go back, I'm going to find out what happened to it, and I'm going to get it to you. And he worked with the interpreter, and they were going to go back, and they were going to move them to the United States and give them this money. And they went back to the family, and the mother had died, and the family had split apart by the time they got back. So they never received that life insurance policy. It did go to the wife, but it never went to his family, and they died over there in Russia and never had the help that he wanted them to get. So he can't rest because his family didn't get what they had coming to them. So he haunts this area, and he's not usually in uniform when he's seen. He's just dressed in regular street clothes, but they're from that time period. So people say that you can tell there's something not right when they see him. He's fully solid, but he's not dressed in the right time period. So I don't know how to help this young man find that peace that he needs. I can't, the senator was heartbroken about it, and he did write in the newspaper about Alexander and told him a request that he had for his family, but even that didn't bring him peace.
Maybe it's just that dark, but I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright. We're gonna do a little.
Oh, is this a vlog?
Yeah, can we see each other?
So funny, man. Who the fuck is that behind
Come
us?
over here. I'm just playing. I can't even see my car from here.
So I'm gonna drive her to her.
She's gonna drive me.
This is freaking me out, bro.
She's gonna drive me to my car, cause.
Wait.
Sorry. Where is my car? I parked it like over there somewhere. Yeah. Oh, this looks creepy.
That's fun.
Oh shit, where's my car?
No, like dead ass. Where's your car?
I know we walked up this road.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Your car is just car is red as fuck.
Hey man, take care, man.
You want to race?
Hell nah. The cop's right there, man. Damn! Oh my god!
The big soup, potato soup. We got chips. She got that for her mom. What'd you get for
The usual chicken tenders and double fries.
No, I mean like the other one.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Cause didn't you order like this and then like something else? Cause you said that for my mom and then another one.
What do you, I just ordered this.
Oh.
I just ordered this for my mom. Cause she's gonna eat it, cause I'm not.
My bad. Damn.
I was like, what is she talking about?
Then I also got, what was it? The margarita strawberry thingy?
Yeah, the strawberry margarita.
Yeah, something like that. It's a special. It was
Strawberry
worth it.
Patron margarita.
There you go. I got that because I'm finally 21. She didn't want to take my ID. But it's fine because, I mean, I don't blame her because it's literally like not the 21 ID.
Yeah, look at you. Their first drink.
Well, legally.
Very much.
Patrol! Definitely do.
I wish you could see your face.
Like I definitely taste it.
Damn. This woke me up. It's good though. It's a little sweet though.
It is, but I like it though.
Yeah.
Oh look, it's just like salt around the rind.
Yup.
I just think she's my reaction.
Period. The chicken burger. She got her thing. Look at that huge shit. Anyway.
Look at mine, that took a lot.
Mine is still at the brim. It's
Is
fine.
that
Oh god, my face is really hot. That's how you know you're getting like buzz
yeah.
on your face is fine.